morning.
Good morning.
What a beautiful day. I mean, we're so blessed to live in Albuquerque, and this is just one of the many, many reasons. As I'm just lucky to get a chance to be a mayor of this great city. And today we're here to celebrate and to groundbreak on a project that's long overdue. And we're finally to a point where the dollars are in place, the plans are done, and construction will begin on the Santa Barbara Park renovation. There's a lot of people to say thank you to. First and foremost, we always say thank you to our neighborhood leadership. I know we've got Nick Bell with us today, and we the president of the Martineztown, Santa Barbara-Martineztown Neighborhood Association, and Christina Apodaca, who's the vice president. Thank you so much. We're here because we have folks at our Park and Recreation Department that have worked hard with the neighborhood advocates to get this park designed in a way that's going to be meaningful for our kids and for our community. And we are here because we have people that are your public servants who have been able to appropriate the dollars for this, both from the state level. We'll have Senator Ortiz-Pino speak, and from the city level, City Councilor District 2, Ike Benton. And these are our city resources. These are taxpayer resources, and there's really no better use for resources than to put them back to our community and to give ourselves opportunities to have a quality of life, to be healthy, to be well. And that's exactly what Santa Barbara Park is going to do. This park was built in the 1960s, so when you're as old as me, you're old. And we're going to have a larger playground when this is finished. We're going to have new lighting, a new shade structure, picnic tables, benches, basketball courts. Christina was telling me even the giraffe is going to get salvaged and moved to a different park. But we're going to have more trees and more shrubs. There's going to be wheelchair accessibility walkways to connect Edith Boulevard with Walter Street. And it's going to be a good looking project, and it's going to be a project that people are going to be able to enjoy and as importantly come together as a community, because that's what it's all about. So the total cost of this park will be $415,000. $200,000 of that came from state grants. This is your capital outlay, and when you watch the news and you talk about capital outlay, I was a two-term state legislator, so I was there. I understand how it works, but sometimes it's kind of a mystery. Well, to take the mystery out of it, what it really means is each one of our senators and each one of our state legislators or representatives has an ability each year, and that number varies. Some years, and when they're flush with money, it's more. Some years, when it's tight, it's less. But they have to make decisions as lawmakers on where they want to take your tax dollars and put them to work for you. So the fact that we have $200,000 of capital outlay means that your state representatives really felt like this was the highest and best use of that money. We also have $143,000 thanks to Councilor Benton. This came directly from the District 2 set aside, which is also your tax dollars that every 2 years each councilor gets $1 million to put where they want to put it. So Councilor Benton's putting this where he believes it's the highest and best use. So that speaks about his commitment. And then $70,000 came from the Albuquerque Parks and Recreation Department. So we have MRWM is our consultant, our designers. Are they here? There they are in the back. Thank you so much, Brian Verardo and Aaron Treviso. Thank you so much. Our contractors, Lee Landscapes. Where's our folks that are swinging a hammer out here? So this means real jobs for real people in our community. Local contractor, putting your local brothers and sisters to work to make a paycheck out here building this park. Councilor Benton, certainly. Former Representative Rick Miera, who's not here today. I want to thank, I know him as Chairman Miera. When I was in the legislature, he was your first state grant for this. Representative Javier Martinez obtained the second grant. I'm looking around. He's not here today. And then Senator Ortiz-Pino from District 12, and then of course, as I said earlier, to Nick and Christina and everybody from the Santa Barbara-Martineztown Neighborhood Association. Thank you for your advocacy. And then Barbara Taylor, your Parks and Rec Director, is here, as well as Keith Reed. Keith is over here. David Flores, who's our Parks Planning Division Manager, is here. Thank you so much, David. Susanna Abbey is your Project Manager. So there's your, everybody have your cell phone number, right? So if something's not quite right, they can give you a call. I know she'll do a great job. And then Melissa Lazoya, who's our head of the Department of Municipal Development, very passionate about her community as well. So you have a team at the city that cares deeply about making this a great project. and I know it's going to be a success. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to City Councilor Isaac Benton. He has a few words, and then we're going to have Senator Ortiz-Pino say a few words as well.
Thanks everybody for being here today. Thank you, Mayor, for attending. Appreciate that, and appreciate the cooperation of your administration in getting this project moving forward. I have to say that generally our time working with the Parks Department in terms of its planning component has always been a pleasure on the part of the City Council office. And I also want to thank my policy analyst Diane Dolan. Sometimes we call getting government in motion on something that the community wants, pushing Jello. And so Diane and I push a lot of Jello, and she's the best though. And we you know, probably for people who've been talking about this park for years and the need for its renovation, they're saying, why did it take so long? I can tell you in city time, you know, we got it done pretty quickly, and we're you know, want to continue commit. I think there's a second phase, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right, or is this both phases? This is getting it all done. Okay. So, and I also want to just comment. I want to thank Senator Ortiz-Pino, along with Representative Martinez, who's not here, and I do still call him Chairman, Mr. Mayor, Chairman Rick Miura, who got this started and kicked off with me. And then we followed through with the rest of the delegation, who have always been very supportive. But you know, when we talk about district set-asides, we hear in the news a lot of the time, well, they don't need that. That's just pork for the councilors to spread around, and it's too much money. It sounds like a lot, right? $1 million every 2 years for this entire council district to do the small projects like this, to juice them and get them going and get them finally done. That sounds like a lot, but it's not in a district of 60,000 people. And we're criticized for using that, but I think it really works because councilors are you know, we want to be at the community level. We want to get things done that might not otherwise rise to the top of a bigger list somewhere. And then the same thing goes for the state capital outlay. They're criticizing, and that's called pork. But without their cooperation and partnership, we couldn't get projects like these done. I've found that it's been very effective when we say, city's putting in, we're putting in our half, we're trying to get your half. We're not asking you for all of it, unreasonably asking for too much. We're asking for help from our state on our local projects, and we do a great job of that. We've got a good record with our state delegation of matching those city council set-aside funds with state capital funds to get work done. So I just want to congratulate the neighborhood. I want to congratulate both the Neighborhood Association, but the Martineztown Work Group for their advocacy on behalf of the project. Loretta Naranjo Lopez and her husband's here. Is he an honorary member, or is he to actually get to vote? But and representatives of Albuquerque Interfaith, I want to thank them. But the Neighborhood Association has always been a great neighborhood to work with as well, and does so much good work, and we want to continue. We've got more park work to do here in the neighborhood. We also have funding already, the beginning of funding for some traffic calming work in the neighborhood and pedestrian friendly work, let's call it that. Yeah, I think that's the way it's. And so we're going to get those projects going on the ground soon too. But yeah, it's a great day. I should have worn my hat like some of these smart people did. It's gonna. I don't think I have SPF strong enough for the top of that. But let's get Jerry up here. Thanks so much, Jerry.
Well, there's not much to add because this is really a clear example of how a neighborhood group would not give up, would not stop clawing and fighting and pressuring and doing whatever they could, bringing in allies like when they got Albuquerque Interfaith involved. That really added to the extra pressure, and ultimately this is the outcome of it. And I just want to thank the working group and the Neighborhood Association for doing what really citizens have to do if we're going to make our democracy responsive. And you know, there's a very progressive group in the state that's been putting a lot of criticism on legislators for our locally funded projects like this. And you try to push back, and they just call it pork, and they just call it uncontrolled spending. This is not uncontrolled spending. This is responding to taxpayers' needs, to community needs, to kids' needs, and it's trying to do it in the best way possible. I'm not sure there would have been any state money available for this project if we had put it into the whole big hopper of all the state's priorities. It would have gone for an expansion of the spaceport or additional lanes of highways on the interstate, all badly needed things, but somebody's got to take care of these projects as well. So when you hear in the press that these are just pork projects, take that please with a grain of salt. That's not really the case. These are badly needed projects. I will share with you that this last year, each senator had almost $1 million for these local projects. But we each had, in my case, I know exactly, we had $39 million in requests. And you try to balance one group's interests and needs against another, and it takes a group that's willing to come back year after year and saying, we're still here, our kids still need the help, please do it. And then if we can have a partnership, as we did in this case, with the city council, with the mayor's office, with the parks department, it all comes together very nicely. This is a very successful project. And I see that we've been joined by another one of the legislators who was able to put some money into this, State Representative Javier Martinez. Did you want to say a few words?
I promise he wouldn't have to.
Yeah. Buenas tardes, good afternoon to all of you. I didn't really want to speak. This is really a celebration of the community, and I want to thank the Martineztown Working Group and the Neighborhood Association. And in this beautiful neighborhood, I've had the honor of having started my organizing career here 15 years ago, and to now be able to represent Santa Barbara-Martineztown in the state legislature is a tremendous honor for me. So thank you for having me, and congratulations.
So we're going to do the traditional turning of the shovels here, but let me just recap a couple of things that I think are really important. And you heard the senator talk about this. Nobody has the resources to do projects that matter by themselves. It takes collaboration, it takes partnerships, and there's always this much need, and there's always this many resources. And so I just think it speaks volumes about your city councilor, about your state senator, your state representative, that they felt like this was the place to put limited and scarce resources. So that says a lot. And the fact that we, and I as a mayor, get to do the fun part, which is take your other taxpayer resources and then actually swing hammers, and I'm a contractor by trade, I love construction, that we get to do the fun part, which is join you as a neighborhood to build this great asset. But let me just reiterate one last time, it doesn't happen without your voices. Because we have so many requests, because we have so much need and so few resources, this does not happen without your advocacy, and it always takes too long. Always takes too long. I haven't had a single project that somebody didn't wish would have happened earlier. But without that community voice, and without a concerted effort, without actually a logical argument to say this is why you should put your dollars here. So you earned it. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is you earned it as a neighborhood because you showed the compelling need, you advocated, you were passionate. So congratulations most of all to you. This is your place, it's our place, and you should be very proud of what you've been able to accomplish for your families.